Hey everybody, silver just made a new high since the last 13 years. Is this a surprise? No. We actually had just talked about 10 days ago in the last free webinar. I'd shown you this chart, right? And this is an S2 pattern on a 4-hour chart. And that pattern, it has a lot of energy stored. We see it here. This is the pattern, entry, stop. And what happens here is, well, we've seen the energy release that is in the pattern here. Is this a surprise that we've made a new high since the last 13 years? No. We're just entering the target area. These are the stop run levels on the higher time frame here, the monthly chart. And stop run levels, well, what actually happens here is that price is drawn through these levels and then pushed through. And our target area, well, that is up here. Actually, talking about the super cycle trends, we've got an outer target, and the outer target is way beyond what we see here on this chart. This is from last year's webinar. We've been well below. Currently, we are above $40 per ounce in silver. Last year, we've been around 30 ounce per dollar, and this is the overall pattern. That's an S1 from a quarterly chart, and there's a lot of energy stored here. So we're projecting out the target for the end of the super cycle trends, like 2035, is for silver at $250. So is the opportunity here in these charts over? No, we're actually just starting to capture the upside momentum. What about gold? Well, gold, last year during that time, I actually talked about gold, how gold is an opportunity. I'm actually linking you that short video I did on gold, this one here in the description of this video. I'm referring here to how this is an opportunity, how we have a lot of stop run opportunity in front of us. Well, gold back then was at 2,600. As you know, now it's above 3,500. Gold as well made a new high. Let's have a look at it. I actually showed you, this was the time when I made the video. I actually showed you that as well during the last webinar, that this was an entry signal on a daily chart. So the patterns come up on any time frame. That's a daily S2 pattern that got triggered here. This is where the stop goes, and we're just about, right, to reach the 1.2R level, which is a very important level for us. That's an action point. So it's a nice example how actually gold already developed a lot of momentum early on. Like silver is lagging. Gold is already in this big move since beginning of 2023. So silver is catching up. So what we see here, and that's very typical for the super cycle trends, that we have that the asset classes are not moving all at the same time, right? Even within an asset class, metals, gold and silver, they're not moving at the same time. Gold was first, now silver is coming up. Well, gold is probably coming more or less to the end of its long move. That is the stop run move, or we have laid out that multiple times, even in our newsletter. Well, basically what is behind of all this is that the patterns tell the story. The patterns give us the target. The patterns tell us how much energy is stored and how much of a move we can expect out of it. So this is it. Let's look forward for this upcoming webinar. We are going to talk about the super cycle targets, like where should individual asset classes and symbols be by the year 2035. And the super cycle trends end. And as well, we're looking at individual patterns. We're going to talk about the pros and cons, reading the charts to understand where do the edges come from, and why do we get these type of moves. Well, this is a stop run move, right? And we want to capitalize on that, either to make it a break-even trade or a small winner, or to just follow the trends once we got a pullback. So all of this is going to be a very interactive session. The next webinar, I've never done that in a free webinar, and I'm very much looking forward to your interaction and your input. Thanks a lot, and see you soon.